The damage and tankiness is just amazing. This was my league starter and pushed till Ubers and the results speaking for itself. It was a long journey from the beach till the Uber bosses. What's up guys, Bridget here. I fixed many problems that the build had before, changed the passive tree and upgraded my items. The first that I was needed to fix is the spell suppression. To face tank Ubers you need 100% suppression. Reaching this was very hard because this character doesn't have easy access to the good suppression nodes like Ranger or Shadow. I was needed to use a simple but nice way to reach this point. Besides I'm getting suppression on every single piece of gear, I anointed inverter rate. This helping us to get 100% suppression. Honestly, I never needed to anoint suppression before. But hey, if it works, then don't complain, right? You also need 100% avoid elemental ailments. I never reached this number like this way I was do this time. I'm using Stormshroud's unique Javel, which is not new. You just need 100% avoid being shagged and you're done. But the tech, I'm getting avoid being shagged and avoid elemental ailments as a boot implicit. This gives me alone 58%. The rest is coming from a single Abyss Javel with avoid being shagged and we have elemental ailments immunity. Also there is a few things that sadly cannot be fixed right now without bigger investment. There are two issues in the long run. First, the build can't reach 100% avoid being stunned. Only we can use a flash 50% stun avoidance and that's it. Sadly, sometimes you get stunned in mid-cast and it could end your character very quickly. This applies especially to Ubers. If you're getting stunned in the wrong moment, then you just dead. Maybe if you're getting Tides of Time or Mage Blood, you can get immunity, but normally I would say it's kinda impossible right now. The other issue is the visual clarity. If you did not notice already, on the maps it's not that a big of a deal. I only died one time because I was not able to see what is under my feet because of the Vortex effect. But on Ubers, especially on Sirius, it can be very deadly. If you're stepping on a puddle, then your recovery is getting disabled. This will lead just to die to the beam or the degen itself. Let's take a look on the items that I changed in the past couple of days. And let's start with the wands guys. So I got two Synthesis wand with implicit. Spells have 10% chance to deal double damage. I have one here and I have one here. I was purchasing this wand for like 20 KS and this was a little bit more expensive. It was like 60 KS. And then I used cost speed essence on it, the highest tier that is possible you can use on this one. And then I was spamming this tier. You get something like, you know, big mana roll, maybe add the lightning damage to spells or just increase lightning damage. And I finished up with 5% chance to deal double damage craft on this one, and on this one sadly I did not hit open suffix and I crafted mana on this one. So this two wand is very strong guys, especially the double damage mod on the implicit. As I mentioned at the start of the video, we have now 100% suppression and I reached this crafting a new body armor, and my choice was a necrotic armor as always, and I purchased with fractured mana. This is tier 1 mana roll. This was literally like 20 KS. I don't know how this is possible, but it was 20 KS and the rest of was as well like 20 KS, 30 KS price range. So it was very cheap, and you can see here I hit here 19% suppression and kind of good, you know, evasion and energy shield. We're only using this for the evasion, by the way, not for the energy shield. I mean, it's kind of good, the energy shield on this one. It could be higher as well, but honestly if you have a prefix already on your body armor, it's very hard to hit higher numbers. So this is why I settled down to this one and finished up the craft with dexterity and intelligence craft, because this build is need dexterity and intelligence provides you mana, and also dexterity provides suppression as well, because we're taking, don't forget, the Mage Bane keystone here. So this is also, I would say, like a 1% suppression extra. And the helmet, so honestly guys, I just purchased the helmet because I just checked out the market and it was literally like 80 KS, so why would I not purchase this one, right? So I feel like this was coming from a Merc and it was yeah, absolute cheap. So I feel like I could not make better even if I want right now. So this is kind of cheap and so much more cheaper than if you purchasing like the fracture suppression or fractured life. And now I purchased a new boots as well, and this has suppression as well, and you know, movement speed, mana, maximum life and resistance, and also I'm using here chance to avoid elemental ailments and chance to avoid being shagged. This is giving me 58% 8% alone, and the rest is coming from the Abyss Jewel, once again, as I said in earlier. And I get a new belt as well, a Stygian Vice. Honestly, guys, this belt, I purchased this one, literally, once again. So I feel like this league, it's much better if you just purchasing stuff instead of crafting, unless you need a very specific modifiers on your belt. This was absolutely good for me, and honestly, I don't remember exactly how much I paid for this, but it was not that much, and the Abyss Jewel was literally like 20 chaos maybe, so it's not nothing really insane, once again, in price range. And although, guys, I crafted a beast amethyst ring. This ring, guys, as you can see here, this gives me 85% chaos res. I made this ring, so I purchased the base with fractured mana and just reforged with chaos on the fortification station, and I was doing this till I hit this one and crafted with lightning resistance and chaos resistance on it. And by the way, as you can see here, if I removing this, see, it gives me a bunch of chaos resistance, 85. It's absolutely mind-blowingly strong. So this is how I fixed my chaos res, and this was surprisingly easy to make, by the way. And I landed something similar, but sadly it was needed to undo down the suffix, and I missed it 3 times in a row, the classic. And I purchased this ring as well for very cheap. So, you know, getting good rings in this league, it's not very hard, because, you know, the mercenaries is just giving you very good loot. So yeah, the gloves is still the same, guys, Algor Mortis. So surprisingly, we can use this in the endgame variant as well, because this gloves is such a good gloves, and also provides you a very huge amount of lightning damage, and also increasing the non-damaging elements effects, and also inflicting sap. And honestly, even on Ubers, I was able to keep up like 10% sap. That means the boss is dealing 10% less damage to you, which is kinda nice if you ask me. And you know, guys, the amulet azzirifoible, and I honor inner turret for the suppression, and this is how I getting 100% suppression. And by the way, this character has exactly 100%, so I'm kinda happy. I'm not complaining, so it is what it is. You need to sacrifice a little mana, but hey, you can see here I have more than 10k mana, which is kinda nice. Few words about the Pantheons, guys, because you guys are also asking this. So I'm using on boss fights, such as like on Cirrus, especially on Uber Cirrus, Soul of Solaris with upgraded the 8% reduced elemental damage taken if you haven't been hit recently, and also take no critical strike if you taken a critical strike recently. I'm using this one when you're doing like tier 17 maps with very high crit chance, so I'm using that. But normally on mapping situation, I'm using Soul of Lunaris, and upgraded as well, avoid the projectiles and reuse elemental damage taken if you have been hit recently. You know, on maps you can get hit very often, so this will provide you damage reduction. And also I'm using Soul of Tukohama. When you're standing still, you're getting 9% physical damage reduction, and also I upgraded it, so I'm regenerating 2% life-wise stationary. And now the passive tree, guys. So as you can see, the passive tree is changed very big time. So the thing is, we drop the critical damage nodes and the crit chance nodes here, and also I allocated once again the elemental overload. So this build is non-crit variant now, and our damage around 18 million DPS, which is almost the same DPS that the crit variant had, but this is literally like 2 times higher tonkiness that the build had before. And now, so to get dexterity to this build, this Jewel is providing all of the dexterity, by the way, that I needed for this build. You can see here, so if I removing this, look at this. Yeah, look at this. This is provides you way more dexterity than you even need. So this is, I would say, a must here. It's so easy to just put here, because, you know, our suffixes is very, you know, heavy already because of the chaos res and the other resistances as well. So fitting in dexterity would be very hard to this build. And the next one is, guys, the Healthy Mind. I got a perfect road one. This is literally I found by myself. So this was dropped from a strong box. Before that I was using the 17%. So, you know, 20% mana is kinda okay, right? So it's not like a bigger of a deal if you have a lower percentage, but it just looks cool, the perfect roll on this one. And I allocated the life wheel here as well, because, you know, this is converting all of the life nodes here to mana, you can see here, so it's providing you mana. And down there, guys, so I would say the classic Archmage setup, you know, Light of the Meaning with maximum mana here, and the Unnatural Instinct here. I allocated here the Evasion Mastery as well, because now every single piece of gear has evasion rating. I'm using here a cluster jewel as well with the skin detailing idea, widespread destruction, and Stormbrinker. I was purchased this one like for the first variant as well, for like 1 divine. I don't know how much is these days, maybe it's cheaper. And I'm using a Watcherai with gain 10% of maximum mana's extra maximum energy shield by affected by clarity. I'm putting clarity in with Arrogance level 1 clarity. It's you know, it's very nice, so you can clearly see if I turning on, you can see here how much energy shield this is provide us. A very huge amount of energy shield for a very good price, and also, you know, life, mana, and energy shield at the same time. And I'm using here the Storm Shroud once again. This is how you getting 100% elemental ailments immunity, which is very important for this build. The gems as well, because I changed a few things as well. So we're using Vortex of Projection, Archmage, Spell Echo, Lightning Penetration, Arcane Surge, and Inspiration. We dropped the critical damage because we don't need that, right? I'm using here Faster Casting, Archmage Support, Frostbringer, Wintry Blast, and Ice Bite support. So basically this is how you clearing, very satisfying and fast as well. Although on you know, on juiced maps you need to use your combo Frostbolt and the Vortex of Projection, right? And now the clear, guys. So I solved the clear problem. So you would say this is very slow, right? Your projectiles traveling very slow because we're using here slower projectiles on the Frostbolt. But for mapping, I'm putting here the faster projectile, and then this is how it looks like. It's very fast, right? Now imagine this is on a map, right? Putting this one, and look at this. Look how big is the clear now. See, with literally just a few cost, like this. Look at this. See, absolutely, we can't even keep up with the, you know, the speed, right? We can't even keep up. So this is how I using on the maps, and this is improving your clear significantly, although this is lowering down your single target because the projectiles is traveling way faster, so only maybe 4 hitting the target and not more than that. And yeah, for single target you are putting back once again the slower projectile, and that's it. In the helmet I'm using Eternal Blessing, Frost Shield, and Grace. And I'm using Sigil of Power here, Arrogance Support, and Clarity. Level 1, I accidentally leveled up, but it's not a big deal, don't worry about this. I feel like many people is underestimating still how strong is the Archmage, especially the Vortex of Projection. I was having very good time with this build, and the damage is just insane on Ubers especially, and on the normal content it just literally melts everything in a matter of seconds. So it's very nice build in my opinion, and also very beginner friendly as well. And so honestly guys, I will make a full guide video soon about this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pidget2. Thanks for watching, I was Pidget, see you next time.